My beloved child, before you move forward with your day, pause here with me for a moment. This is not random. You did not arrive at these words by accident. Something inside you has been searching for reassurance, for clarity, for a sign that you are not walking alone. Stay for a while. Let your heart become still. There is something important you need to remember. You have been stronger than you realize. The battles you fought quietly, the tears you wiped away before anyone noticed, the nights you stayed awake thinking about your future, none of it was unseen. Even when you felt overlooked, you were being prepared. Even when you felt delayed, you were being positioned. What seemed like setbacks were building endurance within you. What felt like silence was shaping your discernment. There is a reason your spirit has felt restless lately. It is not because you are failing. It is because you are growing. Growth often feels uncomfortable before it feels rewarding. You are stepping into a new season, and new seasons require new strength. The version of you that once doubted every decision is slowly fading. In its place stands someone wiser, calmer, and more aware. Listen carefully now. A moment is approaching that will require courage. It may not look dramatic. It may arrive quietly through a conversation, an idea, or an opportunity that seems ordinary. Do not ignore it. The greatest shifts in life rarely announce themselves loudly. They whisper. They wait for those who are paying attention. You have asked for change. You have prayed for direction. You have hoped for a breakthrough. But understand this, breakthroughs often begin within before they appear around you. The clarity you seek is forming in your thoughts. The confidence you need is rising in your heart. The strength required for your next step is already present. Do not measure your progress by what others can see. Some of the most powerful transformations happen privately. Roots grow deep before branches reach high. Your foundation has been strengthening through every challenge you survived. Nothing you endured was wasted. Every disappointment sharpened your perception. Every delay refined your patience. Every closed door redirected your path toward something more aligned with your purpose. Very soon, you will notice a shift. Something that once confused you will begin to make sense. A connection you did not understand will reveal its purpose. When that happens, do not shrink back in fear. Step forward. You are more prepared than you think. Release the belief that your best days are behind you. They are not. What lies ahead carries lessons, growth, and fulfillment that your past could never contain. But you must be willing to walk toward it. Fear will try to remind you of previous failures. Doubt will whisper that you are not ready. Do not listen to those voices. They belong to old seasons. Instead, listen to the quiet assurance rising within you. The same inner strength that carried you through your hardest days is still with you. It has not weakened. It has matured. The resilience you developed was not accidental. It was necessary. You are being shaped into someone capable of handling greater responsibility, deeper joy, and clearer purpose. There is also something you must let go of. A regret. A resentment. A belief that you are somehow behind. Release it. Holding on to yesterday's weight will only slow tomorrow's progress. Forgive yourself for what you did not know then. You were learning. You were evolving. You were doing the best you could with the understanding you had. Now you stand in a different awareness. This awareness is power. With it comes choice. Will you continue doubting your path, or will you trust that every step has led you here for a reason? The decision you make today will quietly influence the direction of your future. Do not rush. Not every step needs to be dramatic. Sometimes the bravest action is simply continuing. Keep showing up. Keep choosing integrity. Keep choosing hope. Small, consistent steps carry more impact than sudden bursts of effort without direction. Pay attention to what brings peace instead of pressure. Notice where your energy feels expanded instead of drained. These are signs guiding you forward. The right path will not always be the easiest, but it will align with the deeper truth within you. Remember this. You are not defined by the moments that almost broke you. You are defined by the fact that you are still here, still trying, still believing. That persistence is powerful. That determination is rare. Soon, clarity will replace confusion. Confidence will replace hesitation. You will look back on this period and realize it was the turning point. Not because something outside changed first, but because you did. Stand firm in who you are becoming. Walk forward without constantly seeking approval. Trust that what is meant for you will recognize you. And when opportunity meets preparation, you will understand why patience was necessary. Your story is not ending. It is expanding. The most meaningful chapters are still ahead. Keep your heart open. Keep your mind steady. Keep your faith stronger than your fear. Everything you need for the next step is already within you. My beloved child, before you continue with anything else, take a slow breath and stay here for a while. This moment is not random. You may think you simply came across these words, but your heart was searching for something it could not explain. A reassurance. A reminder. A quiet confirmation that you are not alone in what you have been carrying. You have walked through seasons that changed you. Some of those seasons were beautiful. Others were heavy. There were days you felt unstoppable, and there were nights you questioned everything. Yet through all of it, you remained. You bent, but you did not break. You doubted, but you did not disappear. That resilience inside you is not ordinary. It was built intentionally through every experience you survived. There were moments when you thought the delay meant denial. When doors closed and you assumed it was the end. But what if those closed doors were guiding you away from paths that would have drained you? What if the waiting was not punishment, but preparation? Timing has been working in ways you could not see. While you were asking why things were not moving faster, something greater was aligning quietly behind the scenes. You have grown more than you give yourself credit for. The version of you who once reacted quickly now pauses to reflect. The version of you who once feared rejection now understands redirection. The version of you who once chased validation is beginning to value inner peace more than applause. That is transformation. And transformation rarely announces itself loudly. It happens subtly, steadily, deeply. Listen carefully. A new chapter is approaching, but it will require your participation. It will require you to release old narratives. The belief that you are behind. The fear that you are not enough. The assumption that every good thing eventually leaves. These thoughts were shaped by past wounds, not by present truth. You cannot step fully into a new season while carrying outdated beliefs. There is something you have been postponing. A decision. A conversation. A step towards something that both excites and frightens you. That hesitation is not weakness. It is the mind trying to protect you from discomfort. But growth often lives on the other side of discomfort. If you wait until you feel completely fearless, you may wait forever. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is movement despite it. You have asked for clarity. Understand this. Clarity grows through action. When you take one honest step forward, the next step becomes visible. You were never meant to see the entire path at once. If you could see every twist and challenge ahead, you might refuse to begin. That is why only the next step is illuminated. And that is enough. Think about how far you have already come. There were times you believed you would not make it through certain situations. Yet here you are. Breathing. Learning. Evolving. Stronger than before. That is proof that you are capable of more than your fear suggests. There will soon be an opportunity disguised as something simple. It may look like a casual conversation, an unexpected invitation, or an idea that keeps returning to your mind. Do not dismiss it too quickly. The most meaningful shifts often arrive quietly. Stay aware. Stay open. Not everything significant comes wrapped in obvious signs. You must also understand that not everyone will understand your growth. Some people became comfortable with the older version of you. The quieter one. The one who settled. As you rise, some connections may shift. That does not mean you are losing. It means you are aligning. Growth sometimes requires distance from what no longer fits your future. Release resentment. Release comparison. Release the need to prove yourself to those who already decided who they think you are. Your energy is too valuable to be spent on convincing others of your worth. The right people will recognize your evolution without explanation. There is power in the way you have learned to endure. But now it is time to move beyond survival. You were not created merely to survive difficult seasons. You were created to build, to inspire, to lead, to create impact in ways you may not yet fully understand. The strength you developed was not only for protection. It was for purpose. Pay attention to what gives you a sense of expansion. What makes time pass quickly because you feel engaged and alive? What conversations leave you energized instead of drained? These are clues. Your path is not meant to feel like constant pressure. It will challenge you, yes, but it will also resonate deeply within you. There will be moments ahead where doubt attempts to return. When that happens, remember this: doubt is loud, but truth is steady. Return to your center. Remind yourself of every obstacle you overcame. Remind yourself that you have faced uncertainty before and still found your way forward. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not unqualified. The timing of your journey has been uniquely yours. Comparison steals joy because it ignores the unseen battles others did not witness. Your pace has shaped your character. And your character is preparing you for responsibility that requires wisdom, not haste. Soon, something will click into place. An understanding. A realization. A confirmation that the waiting period had meaning. When that moment comes, embrace it fully. Do not shrink back into old patterns of hesitation. Step forward with confidence, even if your voice shakes slightly. Forgive yourself for the times you doubted your own potential. Forgive yourself for staying in situations longer than you should have. You were learning boundaries. You were learning discernment. Every experience added depth to your awareness. Now you stand at a threshold. Not a dramatic, flashing doorway, but a subtle internal shift. You can feel it if you are honest with yourself. The old version of you feels distant. The new version is forming clearer intentions, stronger boundaries, and deeper trust in inner guidance. Continue choosing patience over panic. Integrity over impulse. Vision over distraction. Small, consistent decisions shape extraordinary outcomes over time. Do not underestimate the power of steady effort. You are capable of building a future that reflects who you are becoming, not who you used to be. Let that truth settle in your heart. Let it replace insecurity with quiet confidence. The next season of your life will not be defined by what you feared losing, but by what you finally allow yourself to pursue. Trust the process. Trust the growth. Trust the inner voice that has been guiding you even in silence. Your story is expanding, not ending. And the most meaningful chapters are still waiting to be written. Keep walking. Keep believing. Keep becoming. Everything you need for what is ahead is already growing within you. My beloved child, stay a little longer. Let your thoughts slow down. You have been moving so quickly, carrying responsibilities, expectations, silent pressures that no one else fully sees. Right now, you do not need to solve anything. You only need to remember who you are becoming. There was a time when you questioned your own strength. You wondered why life felt heavier for you than for others. You compared your journey and assumed you were falling behind. But what you could not see then was that your path was shaping depth inside you. Some people grow through comfort. You grew through contrast. Through uncertainty. Through moments when you had to create hope from almost nothing. Every challenge refined you. It taught you how to observe instead of react. How to pause instead of panic. How to rebuild instead of surrender. These are not small lessons. They are foundations. And foundations matter more than surface success. You have been in a season of internal construction. It may have felt slow. It may have felt invisible. But while you were waiting for visible results, your character was strengthening. Your discernment was sharpening. Your resilience was stabilizing. Now you are approaching a period where what you built internally will begin to reflect externally. Do not rush this transition. When something new begins, it can feel unfamiliar. Even positive change can feel uncomfortable at first. You may question whether you are ready. You may hesitate because stepping into something greater requires releasing what is familiar. But remember, familiar does not always mean aligned. There is a quiet invitation forming in your life. It may involve growth in your work, your relationships, your creativity, or your spiritual awareness. It will ask you to trust yourself more than before. It will ask you to stop shrinking to fit spaces that no longer match your expansion. You are not meant to remain in environments that constantly drain your spirit. You are not meant to explain your worth to those committed to misunderstanding you. The next chapter requires energy, clarity, and courage. Protect those carefully. You have also learned something powerful. Not every battle requires your participation. In the past, you may have tried to fix everything, prove yourself, defend your intentions. Now you are learning the strength of silence, the wisdom of boundaries, the peace of choosing where your energy flows. That maturity is preparing you for higher responsibility. Very soon, you will recognize a difference in how you respond to situations that once overwhelmed you. Where you once felt anxiety, you will feel steadiness. Where you once felt urgency, you will feel patience. That shift is evidence of your growth. Let go of the belief that struggle disqualifies you from success. Struggle often qualifies you. It gives you empathy. It gives you perspective. It gives you gratitude for small victories that others overlook. These qualities will make your future achievements meaningful, not empty. There may be one lingering fear still holding you back. A memory of failure. A voice from the past that told you that you were not capable. That voice survived too long in your mind. It is time to replace it. Replace it with the truth of your persistence. Replace it with the evidence of your survival. Replace it with the awareness that you are no longer the same person who once believed those doubts. As you move forward, choose alignment over approval. Choose growth over comfort. Choose long-term fulfillment over short-term validation. These choices may not always be easy, but they will lead you toward peace instead of pressure. There is something else you must remember. Rest is not weakness. Pausing to reflect is not quitting. Sometimes clarity emerges only when you allow yourself space to breathe. Give yourself permission to recharge without guilt. Even the strongest foundations require moments of stillness. Soon, you will feel momentum building again. Ideas will become clearer. Opportunities will feel more aligned. Conversations will carry new meaning. When this happens, act with confidence. Do not second-guess every instinct. You have developed discernment through experience. Trust it. You are entering a phase where authenticity will matter more than perfection. You do not need to present a flawless version of yourself. Your honesty, your lessons, your journey, these are what make you relatable and impactful. Vulnerability handled with wisdom becomes strength. Remember how many times you thought it was the end, yet it was only a transition. This is another transition. Not an ending. Not a loss. A transformation. You are not required to have every answer today. You are only required to remain open to growth. Keep showing up for your responsibilities. Keep refining your vision. Keep believing that your efforts will compound over time. The life you are building is not meant to look exactly like anyone else's. It is meant to reflect your values, your experiences, your lessons. Do not dilute your uniqueness to imitate someone else's timeline. The strength within you is quieter now, but deeper. It does not need to announce itself loudly. It knows what it has endured. It knows what it can handle. That quiet confidence will guide you further than loud declarations ever could. When you look back months from now, you will see this period clearly. You will recognize it as the space where you decided to think differently, to act differently, to believe differently. That decision will change more than you can currently measure. Keep your heart steady. Keep your focus clear. Keep your intentions honest. The path ahead may still hold challenges, but you will meet them as a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Your journey is not random. Your growth is not accidental. And your future is not limited by your past. Walk forward knowing that you are prepared. Even if you cannot see the entire horizon, trust that each faithful step is leading you somewhere meaningful. You are evolving. You are aligning. You are becoming. And the best of your story is still unfolding.